What's up, guys? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks so much for being here, for being subscribed. If you are not, go ahead, hit that button. And if you're on YouTube while you're at it, go ahead and hit that like button. It's like walking into the room and hitting that light switch. We just want to go ahead and brighten up the place, and let's get into this conversation/reality chat. All right, guys. So it's being reported that Monique has officially filed for divorce from Chris, her husband, actually a few months ago. And this isn't news. I'm not here to report the news. Obviously, I'm just here to talk about the situation because I don't think anyone's really surprised. If you watch The Real Housewives of Potomac, especially that last season that they were on, and she did get fired, no matter how much they wanted to try to make it seem like they wanted them to come back, and she just decided that it was best for the marriage if they don't go back to the show, and that they're not on reality TV. It's toxic, and they don't really support marriages. And they were trying to spin things or trying to have the ladies on the show to spread rumors about them to try to tear them apart. But there's an old saying that where there's smoke, there's fire. And if there's nothing there, and if it's a 100% complete lie, then there's no there, and there's really nothing to see here. So it stands to say that the alleged rumors about Monique and the trainer and her former now best friend, who we did see on the first season that she was on the show, I believe she went by the name Gigi, that there were some things that were said regarding what Gigi said was going on with her and the trainer. I mean, if nothing ever really happened, then nothing ever really happened, and lies would just be lies. But it was almost like they were trying to convince us, especially on that reunion where, Chris got up and hugged Monique and, said, baby, I love you so much and whatever, that they were really trying to convince us that the marriage was much stronger than it actually was, and that everybody who was saying things about them was just 100% lying. And I've said this before, when it came to, it wasn't a fight, it was a beat down, it was an attack. When Monique beat up Candace, I felt that Monique was taking out her anger and frustration regarding other things that was going on in her relationship out on Candace. I know a lot of people were making comments about Candace having a smart mouth and she was asking for it and all of that other stuff. Multiple things can be true at the same time. Just because someone's saying, slap me, doesn't mean that you're supposed to do it. And just because somebody's running off at the mouth doesn't mean that you should lower yourself to the level to punch them out or beat their head into the table like she did. But I said it before then that I felt that she was taking out her anger and frustration regarding things that were going on in her own relationship out on Candace. But being on these shows and being under the spotlight of wanting to showcase your relationship and your marriage, and things not really being the way that you're trying to portray them to be, it can be a heavy load to carry when you're constantly trying to make it seem like all is well. And so when they went from Potomac to do Love and Marriage DC, which she said Carlos King had to really convince her to do that show, I said it. I did a podcast talking about it, and I said that I don't believe she's really going to get what she is thinking she's going to get. I don't believe she's going to receive what she's seeking, which is validation, vindication, showcasing this picture perfect relationship and marriage and all of that other stuff. I really felt like it was just going to expose more of the cracks in her relationship. I wasn't hoping for it. I never am hoping for anyone's relationship to fail. So I really feel bad about this because they have 3 children together. They had one pregnancy that did not make it to full term, and that was really sad. And they had another pregnancy, and that baby was born and healthy and happy. And hopefully the children will be able to, be happy in spite of the split in the relationship. Now, Chris's mom, I'm quite sure she's happy because when they showed her on the show that first season that they were on, you could clearly tell that mom was not there for Monique. I actually admired Chris for standing up to his mom for the sake of his wife, because you don't really see a lot of that. And it kind of sucks to see guys that are supposed to be men that are mama's boys, and they do and say whatever their mom tells them, or they're not standing up for their spouse because, well, that's my mama and that's always going to be my mama and whatever. Like, well, if she's being disrespectful to your wife, then you need to stand up to her. You shouldn't allow the contention to be there between your wife and your mother. So I admired him for that. But just seeing things over the years, it just to me seemed like she just was not really happy with him, but she definitely was happy with the lifestyle that he was able to afford her, period. I'm not saying that there was never any love there. I'm not there to judge that, but I will say that I really do believe that this relationship was bound to fail based on what they allowed us to see, not on me hoping for it. So I don't think anybody's really surprised that this is the case, especially when last year people reported that they had separated, and then she and Chris did this video where they came out to try to debunk that. And she was trying to say people should be ashamed of themselves for coming out here and reporting information like that. So now they have exclusively reported that she filed papers initially on April the 14th. And then she filed an amended complaint for absolute divorce on June 15th. That's just the other day. So the divorce is not finalized, and they have a hearing that's scheduled for, I believe it's for tomorrow. So they have reportedly been separated since October of last year. And even though they did the YouTube video to try to debunk this report, they hadn't posted each other on their pages on social media since December 2022, and they just celebrated their 11-year wedding anniversary on March the 3rd. Maybe not celebrated it, but they definitely surpassed the 11-year mark. So honestly, most people really are not surprised. It's definitely not celebrated that this is happening. I believe it is sad because they do have 3 children involved, but sometimes people, they're just in it for not the right reasons, and they just come to a place where they just kind of get fed up, and it's like, you know what, we did our time, now let's just be out. And I feel like she felt like, well, I've had the 3 kids, I've done my duties. He wanted me to have all these babies. He didn't really want me to work, which is true. He really didn't want her to work. I feel like he let her, so to speak, do the show and kind of having an outlet, but you could see that he was definitely controlling. And Monique just doesn't seem like the type that wants to be controlled in any way, shape, or form. I mean, even when they were trying to hold her back, when she wanted to go and get Candace again, and she was like, you better let me go. You better get her. I'm going to kill her. Like, she's definitely not the type to be controlled or to be tied down. She will speak her mind. I don't have any problem with her wanting to live her life and speak her mind. My only issues with her is that I felt like she was taking out her aggressions wrongfully on Candace, when I didn't feel that was where her anger really should have been the outlet on. Even when that pastor came over to their house and pretty much talked to her about that situation, which she asked him to come over and she was the one that brought it up, he told her, he said, it seems to me that she really wasn't your real issue. And Monique came out and said, oh my God, like, I owe her an apology. And she started crying. Of course, she never apologized. She kind of stood 10 toes down in it even after that. And that's what really disappointed me even more so about her, where I just really felt like, you know what, I'm good on her. I'm just done with that attitude, because I can't stand when people don't take accountability and they want to continue to blame other people for the things that they did wrong. And even a few years after that, she was still talking about it if it got brought up, and just saying, well, yeah, she had the right to defend herself because she got hit with a glass and was bleeding. Like, that was in conjunction to you banging this chick's head into the table while she had a wine glass in her hand and she was trying to get you up off of her. So I just am not surprised. And I know most people are not. I know I'll just read a few of the comments to you guys about this. One person says, the next chick is going to cherish this man because Monique couldn't hide how much she couldn't stand him. Nothing he did could make her happy. And someone else says she wasn't with him for life. She was with him for the lifestyle. Men should marry the woman who wants you for you and not the woman who want you for what you can do for them. I'm sure her team did an assessment of her overall valuation along with what her potential earnings would be from the divorce. She'll build her own brand and profit from women who wish that they could live her life. The purpose is to publicly showcase how much better her life is without her ex-husband, who just so happens to be a brother. That's, someone that I believe is a man that said that. And someone else says, good, Chris deserves better. And another comment says she didn't like him anyway. It showed in every interaction from RHOP to LAMDC. She was in it for the money. And someone else says, someone get a camera and let us see his mother's reaction. I know she's shouting for joy. and I'm quite sure that she is. I don't know what type of prenuptial agreement he has, but she has the 3 children. So there's definitely going to be child support. Don't know about alimony in their state. Don't know about alimony as it pertains to the prenuptial agreement. But Monique seems to be a hustler. I don't see her stopping. I just see that she was probably just putting things on pause because she probably is going to proceed and move forward with things being single and not married anymore. And then eventually sharing some things as it pertains to the marriage and the things that she went through. Because like I said, I do believe that he definitely was controlling. I don't believe that she really wanted to have any more kids. And I remember a scene from Real Housewives of Potomac where she was bathing either 1 or 2 of the kids at the same time. I can't really remember, in the bathtub. And he was in the bathroom with them. And she was just pretty much saying how tired she was and kind of expressing some of the things that she would like to do. And she was just like, I think we're good on kids. And he was like, no, we can have more kids. And she really did seem like she was down for it, but she really couldn't respond in the way that she wanted to because it's just like, well, I'm living this lifestyle. He's affording it to me. Don't really want to do it, but we'll see. So that's what I picked up from it. And that was before the beatdown. Okay. So anyway, guys, you let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section below. Thank you so much for being here, liking and subscribing. I'm Beth. I'm just being beautifully honest. So until the next time, I just wanted to keep it brief, beautiful. And now I'm going to say bye.